Hi everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com and Posted Outdoors. This is an old pattern of mine, one of the first patterns I learned to tie. It's called a gray hackle red. Just a lot of basic techniques in this one, that just teaching you how to tie a wet fly, and it's a good fly to tie, so I hope you enjoy this one. Okay, this pattern is a gray hackle red. It's a wet fly. I used to fish this a lot with a lot of success when I started fishing. I'm tying it with a Unithread size 6 red thread. This fly was taught to me by my fly fishing mentor, Jack Igo. He taught us how to fish wet flies years ago. It was back in the 80s, early 90s, I guess. He's an old wet fly fisherman, still does it today, swears by it. He taught us this fly. It's just kind of a searching pattern, and we've had a lot of success with it over the years. Kind of one of the first flies I ever really tied any amount of. When I was a kid, Jack used to ask me to tie him for him. Kind of hard to screw it up. It's not a difficult pattern. He would have me tie him for him, and as a kid it made me feel good being able to tie for somebody. All it is some red thread. Gonna wrap some gold tinsel around it. Tie down your gold tinsel. The next thing I'm gonna use is just some red dubbing. Just hairline, red hair, rabbit hair. We're gonna wax the thread a little bit. Add some dubbing. Now, one secret to this is you don't want, like any wet fly, you do not want to get it too thick. You don't want to get the body on this fly too thick. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it pretty tight here. Dub it sparsely and tight around my thread. And then I'm just going to start wrapping it forward. One of the biggest problems I had when I was a kid, and most fly tyers, especially beginning fly tyers, is they make their bodies way too big. Go out while you're fishing, pick up a rock, look under the rock, and look at how big the bodies are. We're not imitating you're not imitating a Hellgrammite or something here. You're not something big. So you just want nice, small, even body on this, okay? You don't want a big ball at the front, or you just want it nice and even. This is like a classic wet fly pattern. And we're not putting a tail on this one, by the way. We're just going to wrap the gold tinsel over the red. I'm going to rib it. Try to do it nice and even. Sometimes I'll put my finger on top to hold it. Makes it easier that way to switch hands. Okay, then I'm going to come up here and tie this off. I was just joking with my dad the other day. We were talking about this fly. It's wintertime here while I'm tying this, and we used this one winter to pull trout out from underneath the ice packs. It was kind of funny. The next thing I'm using is a medium done hen hackle. Just a simple wet fly hackle. And just going to grab a hold of it, pull the fibers back to get it to the length I want. Key with wet flies is the correct length should be the distance of the hook gap. So if you bend your hackle like this, the length of your hackle fibers from the shaft to the tip should be about the same length as your hook gap from the hook point to the shank of the body here. So once I get to that point, once I find that on my feather here, I'm going to strip them back. Pull it off there, and I'm going to tie this down. Okay. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers, and I'm going to pinch them onto the end of the hackle here. And I'm going to make about 3, probably at the most 4 wraps around here. And whoops, popped it off there and just have to start it over. Down in here where the shaft of the fly there, of the feather there, is a little bit heavier. And as you'll notice here, I'm trying to keep my fibers back so I don't wrap over them and wrap them down. Okay, once I got it about 4 wraps on there, I'm going to tie this feather off. Okay, then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to pull back the hackle fibers and wrap them down a little bit. And then once I get them wrapped back there, I'm just going to come in with my wet finisher. Wet finish this off. And this fly is done. It's a pretty simple fly to tie. It's a generic wet fly pattern. A lot of the techniques that used in this will carry over into your other wet fly patterns. That's kind of why I showed you this one. Good searching pattern. I use this early spring on the stock trout. If I'm wet fly fishing, I'll fish whatever the natural pattern is coming off at the time. Whatever that may be, or fish a hare's ear wet or something, and I'll fish this as my other fly, as my dropper, or the bottom fly. I usually fish 2 flies on the pattern. I hope you like this fly. Give it a try. Really simple, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thanks again for watching. I'm Sean Holsinger from holsingersflyshop.com. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we carry the products used to tie these flies on our website, so please don't forget to check us out at holsingersflyshop.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe and you'll be updated every time we come out with a new one. Thanks a lot.